Alright, Uncle David, this next video is going to show you how to change the default password for your Belkin Wi-Fi router that you use to connect your Fire Stick, which is going to be important. This is especially going to be, you're going to want to have secure because you're going to want to be able to only use it for your Fire Stick and not have anybody else connecting to it or like any other devices, because that's going to keep all the bandwidth strictly toward your Fire Stick so that it's not having to share it with any other devices. Because whenever two devices are using the same Wi-Fi connection, they split the bandwidth. So the more devices, the slower the connection for each device. I'm sure that makes sense. You get that. So here's what we're going to do. First, you're going to want to, preferably on your laptop, because that's going to be the easiest way to access your control panel. And follow along with this video tutorial. So go and connect to your Belkin 114 Wi-Fi hotspot. It's going to ask you for the password, which we have already, which is, just in case you don't remember, it's this right here, 4E864648A. Kind of like whispered it because I don't know if the girls are up and listening, but anyways, you should be able to change that anytime once you change the Belkin control panel login as well, and then it won't be the same anymore. So anyway, so we're entering that, we're going to connect to it, okay? And once we're connected to it, and we can verify that, see, we're connected. Now this is to access this control panel. It's a little different because by default Belkin uses a different IP address standard, 192.168.2.1, because it's your secondary router. It's connected as an access point to your primary modem. So that's why we're having the .2.1. So we're going to do that. Click enter. You're going to see that you're able to connecting to it, your control panel. And as it says right here, before you can change any settings, you need to log in with a password. If you have not yet set a custom password, then leave this field blank and click submit, which by definition means that the default password is blank, which is also extremely insecure and a big vulnerability, because most users don't even realize that it's like that. They just they hook it up, install it, don't even bother going to the control panel to change anything because it's already set up to start working right away. And that's like the biggest problem, is like users not being aware how easy it is for the average Joe that knows this kind of info, like the default user and passwords for most routers, is very, very simple. So the first thing you want to do to secure your network is change that Wi-Fi router control panel password, the admin password for the login. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to log out. Oops, it's having issues now because, I'm going to probably have to go and reset the router, because when it does this, when you get unable to connect to that specific connection right there, like that, that's how you know it needs to be reset. It's done that the last 2 times that I've had to reset it since we've been here. The other night, and then again last night it did this. So if it ever does that, you're not able to connect to the control panel, go ahead and reset that. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to keep the video running for tutorial purposes. I will be right back and continue the rest of it. back. It should be rebooting up right now. I just unplugged the power connector and plugged it back in, so that's really all you need to do when it does that, and you need to reinitialize it. It's just as good as hitting the reset button, but quicker actually. Alright, so we're good there. We're going to reconnect to the Belkin. Okay. And once we're connected, we are going to go right back to 192.168.2.1, and we're back in business, as we can see here. Now, so we're going to go and we're going to want to change this. So let's see, where does it say we can change it at? Okay, we're going to first log in. Then we're going to change it from, let's see where it is. It's a little different on most devices. It just depends on which manufacturer it is, and you know where usually how they have their layout set up. Let's go to LAN. I think it's under LAN settings, maybe. Nope, it's let's go to help. It'll tell us there. Password. Where do we change the default password? Let's see. Oh, probably under system settings. That's what I'm thinking. Yep, there it is. Okay, so as it says right here, administrator password. This router ships with no password entered. If you wish to add a password for more security, you can set a password here. So you're going to want to set a password and create a password. Since the default is blank, you can just leave that blank. For demonstration purposes, we're going to use the same one we used in the last tutorial. Of course, you're going to be able to, I'm going to reset it back to the default password at the end of the video so you can change it to one of your own liking. But this is just for demonstration purposes. Okay, that's there. We're going to go down here and we're going to click Apply Changes. And let it finish applying them and let it finish the countdown. Then it's going to initialize the changes and update them. And it's probably already done that, but just let it finish anyway. And now we're going to log out. We're going to try and log back, and we're going to try and log in with the blank again, but it's not going to let us because we changed it. Now, we're going to log in with the password that we changed it to, which is the same as the one we came up with for the last tutorial. Of course, this will be whatever you want to change it to, something of your liking that you know, or that you choose for your password, preferably 10 alphanumeric characters or more. All right, so we're logged in. And now that that's that, we're good. So nobody can just get in really easily by just leaving it blank. But that's how you can change that up. Also on here, there's a lot of different other settings that you can change around to make sure that you have optimum bandwidth for your Fire Stick. But that's all for now. Just wanted to show you how to update your password for both control panels on your Xfinity router as well as your Belkin, and so that you don't have any risk of anybody getting in so easily. So I'm changing it back to the default. It's going to be blank so that you can change it to one of your liking, and then you should be good to go. I hope that you could hear me all right in these videos and that there wasn't too much feedback. If there was, just turn the volume down a little bit. Nothing I can do about that. Actually, the screen recording video program that I'm using to record these videos, there's something to do with it. But anyways, I hope you were able to follow along okay. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a text message, 702-582-4285. You've also got my business card, I'm sure. And I hope that helps. All right, no problem, Uncle David. If you have any more computer problems or questions, send me a text or give me a call. All right. And so it's changing back to blank now, and so you should be able to use, leave it blank and then change it to something that you want to use for your password. But just don't leave it blank. Just change it to something else. That's important. Okay, so yeah, you should be good to go, and I'll leave you to it.